Number 6. Describe how the construction of early villages affect natural water flow in streams and rivers. Given settlements near streams required effect on natural water flow. Solution: villages diverted streams for domestic use or irrigation, altering flow patterns. Final answer: early village construction modified natural streams courses to suit human needs. Number 7. Discuss the role of shell middens in showing human modification of coastal areas. Given accumulations of shells near settlements required, how they show modification of coastal areas. Solution: shell middens indicate resource extraction and deposit areas affecting local topography. Final answers: shell middens reflect human impact on coastal landforms through accumulation and resource use. Number 8. Identify evidence of early mining or quarrying activities and their effect on local landforms. Given archaeological evidence of mineral extraction, required effect on landforms. Solution: quarrying caused pits and altered hillsides. Final answer: mining activities reshape local terrain by creating excavations and modified slopes. Number 9. Explain how deforestation during the Neolithic period could have contributed to soil erosion. So we're given tree removal for settlements and agriculture required contribution to soil erosion. Solution: without vegetation, rain causes increased erosion and sedimentation in rivers. Final answer: deforestation accelerated soil erosion and sediment deposition in waterways. Number 10. Describe the impact of Neolithic trade and settlement patterns on the development of harbors or inlets. We're given early trade routes and harbors required effects on harbors or inlets. Solution: settlements expanded or modified coastal areas for docking and storage. Final answer: trade and settlements led to the development of harbors, altering natural inlets. Number 11. Explain how early rice cultivation may have changed wetland areas. So given early rice paddies in low-lying areas required How wetlands change. Solution. Wetlands were drained or flooded to grow rice. Final answer. Rice farming transformed wetlands into irrigated agricultural land. Number 12. Identify ancient pathways or roads and describe how they may have modified hills and valleys. So we're given traits connecting settlements required modification of hills or valleys. Solution. Paths cut through slopes, level land, or build bridges. Final answer. Early roads altered terrain by flattening hills and creating embankments in valleys. Number 13. Discuss how sedimentation patterns in rivers were affected by early agricultural practices. Given agricultural runoff into river, so required effect on sedimentation patterns. Solution. Soil carried by runoff deposited in the riverbeds, changing flow and depth. Final answer. Early agriculture increased river sedimentation, altering river morphology. Number 14. Explain the impact of early damming or water diversion for irrigation on nearby water bodies. So we're given early irrigation practices required impact on nearby water bodies. Solution. Diversion reduced downstream flow and created artificial ponds. Final answer. Water diversion for irrigation modified natural river and pond ecosystems. Number 15. Describe the evidence of human-induced changes in coral reefs or mangrove areas during early periods. So we're given evidence of human exploitation of coastal resources, required effect on ecosystems. So solution. Mangroves cleared and corals harvested, affecting biodiversity. Final answer. Human activity led to degradation and modification of coastal ecosystems. Number 16. Explain how burial mounds or other ceremonial constructions modified the natural terrain. Given archaeological mounds in settlements, so required terrain modification. So solution. Earth moved to build mounds, creating artificial elevations. Final answer. Ceremonial constructions altered natural terrain by adding elevated structures. Number 17. Discuss the effect of early settlements on local floodplains, given villages on flat lowlands, required effect on floodplains. So solution, construction disrupted natural water absorption, increasing flood risks. Final answer, early settlements modified floodplain dynamics and water flow patterns. Number 18. Describe how early human activities could have influenced the formation or appearance of small lakes or ponds. So we're given early agricultural or settlement activity required influence on small water bodies. Solution, excavation or drainage led to new ponds or disappearance of natural lakes. Final answer, human activity altered the number and size of small lakes and ponds. Number 19. Identify evidence of early land reclamation or terracing along coastal areas, given coastal settlements and farming, required evidence of modification. Solution, land was leveled or extended into shallow waters for farming. Final answer, coastal areas were modified by reclamation and terracing for agriculture. Number 20. Explain how human-induced changes since the Neolithic period have long-term effects on soil, fertility, and erosion in certain regions of the Philippines. So given continuous human activity since Neolithic period, so required resulting impact on soil. Solution, persistent farming and deforestation degraded soil, increasing erosion and reducing fertility. Final answer, human-induced changes cause long-term soil degradation and increase erosion in affected regions. For our MCQ, Quarter 4, Earth and Space Science, Lesson 7, Human Impact on Philippine Landforms and Waterways from the Neolithic period to today. Number 1. Which human activity in early Neolithic communities primarily modified riverbanks for agriculture? Letter A, hunting and gathering. Letter B, constructing irrigation channels. Letter C, building stone forts. Letter D, mining for gold. We'll have the next part of our Quarter 4 Earth and Space Science Lesson 7.